Good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. First, the headlines. Minister says Tinubu is aware of genuine concerns and complaints expressed by Nigerians. UN report says around 733 million people globally faced hunger in 2023. Sudan paramilitary leader says he will attend ceasefire talks in Switzerland. And on sport, VAR drama as Argentina versus Morocco match restarts after 22 hours. Now the news in detail. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, explained why the federal government opposed planned protests over prevailing economic realities in Nigeria. He said while Nigerians have the constitutional guaranteed right to protest, the government was aware some people were planning to hijack the demonstration to cause trouble. Idris, who stated this in Abuja, said the President Bola Tinubu administration acknowledges the right of every Nigerian to engage in protest. According to him, the government is equally committed to ensuring that these activities do not disrupt public order or violate the rights of others. According to him, Tinubu is fully aware of the genuine concerns and complaints expressed by Nigerians across the nation, and he is actively working to implement effective policies aimed at alleviating the challenges faced by citizenry and bringing relief to all Nigerians. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has commissioned the ultra-modern and digitalized National Cybercrime Center to strengthen the efficiency of law enforcement agencies in the country. The President, who was represented by the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, said that the government was committed to investing in Nigeria police force through the procurement of sufficient arms, weapons, and other equipment, as well as recruitment and continuous training to boost the number, quality, and preparedness of the police personnel. He said the emerging development of technology, COVID-19 pandemic, and the advent of 5G technology have all contributed to widening the scope and diversity of cyberspace threats. Tinubu stated that the federal government has set up several major policy decisions, including the review of the cybercrime plan, which would work toward mitigating multiple crimes posed by cyber criminals. The Nigeria Immigration Service has suspended Akomolafe Benga Michael, one of its personnel at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, following multiple charges of alleged drug trafficking. In a statement issued on Wednesday in Abuja, NIS spokesman Kenneth Udu confirmed the suspension and disclosed that the officer is currently facing arraignment before a federal high court in Lagos. He added that the NIS fully supports the court's proceedings aimed at determining Michael's level of culpability. Nigeria Immigration Service awaits the court's judgment before making further comment. The NIS also reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining high standards of service delivery, discipline, and a zero-tolerance policy towards criminal activities. The service will not hesitate to sanction any officer whose conduct is contrary to these ideals, Udo emphasized. When we return, news from other parts of West Africa. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv.
Welcome back. Ghana's Supreme Court has declared as constitutional the law which prohibits unnatural carnal knowledge such as anal sex. In an unanimous decision, a 7-member panel of the court dismissed a writ challenging the constitutionality of Section 104 of the Criminal Offence Act 1960. The court, presided over by Justice Paul Bafo Boni, did not read the full reasoning of the court, which it said would be deposited at the court's registry. The writ was filed by Prince Obiwi Korang, a lecturer at the University of Ghana Law School. Section 104 of Act 29 makes it a crime for any person to have unnatural carnal knowledge of a person who is 16 years and above, even with his consent, with the crime described as misdemeanor. Section 104 defines unnatural carnal knowledge as a sex in an unnatural way or with an animal. Around 733 million people faced hunger in 2023, according to the latest State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report published on Wednesday by 5 United Nations specialized agencies. Hunger affected 1 out of every 11 people in the world and 1 out of 5 in Africa, with the number rising on that continent. The report highlights that access to adequate food remains elusive for billions, with around 2.33 billion people globally face moderate or severe food insecurity in 2023. It adds that this number that has not changed significantly since the sharp upturn in 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. David Labode, the Food and Agricultural Organization's Director of Agri-Food Economics, says solving the problem is a political choice and also depends on how much money they are ready to put on the table.
Today we produce enough food on this planet to feed everyone. So if we want to solve the pollution by 2030, it's technically feasible. It's a political choice, and after it's how much money we are ready to put on the table to solve it. When we talk about food security and nutrition, when we talk about chronic hunger, when we talk about malnutrition, it's not the crisis of today that is at stake. It's the future, because pregnant women, kids that face malnutrition problem today will pay the price all of their life. So by not solving the problem today, we are basically impoverishing these countries.
We move to other parts of Africa after this break. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The leader of Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, said on social media that he plans to attend ceasefire talks in Switzerland next month. They have been arranged by the United States and Saudi Arabia in a bid to bring an end to 15 months of intense fighting between the paramilitary group and the army. The U.S. State Department said the talks will aim to build on discussions between the two sides that broke down late last year in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. He said this was essential to prevent the famine that exists in Sudan from spreading and to create space to restore the civilian political process. In a post on X, Dagalo said he hoped the talks would become a major step towards peace and stability in Sudan and create a new state based on justice, equality, and federal rule. Kenya President William Ruto on Wednesday named 4 ministers from the main opposition party in a bid to form a broad-based government. Hassan Joho was nominated as Cabinet Secretary
Kenyan President
for Mining,
William Ruto on
Blue
Wednesday
Economy,
named
and
4
Maritime
ministers.
Affairs. Wycliffe Oparanya was designated as Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives, John Badi at the National Treasury Ministry, and Opio Wandai at Energy. The 4 politicians were part of a batch of 10 nominees. They are close allies of the Orange Democratic Movement leader. This comes despite a warning by the party's leader Raila Odinga in his first batch of appointments last week. Kenya's president retained 6 former cabinet ministers. Protesters on social media accuse the opposition of treason, some alleging a secret deal was brokered. The nominees still need to get the green light by Parliament. Up next is business. Please stay with us. Welcome back. On business, the electricity distribution companies in Nigeria generated revenue of 291.62 billion naira in the first quarter of 2024 amid the blackout in parts of the country. This was even as the nation lost 673 megawatts of power generation capacity due to gas shortages during the period. In a report by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, it was stated that the revenue generated by the discos was out of the 368.65 billion naira billed to customers in the first 3 months of the year. The total revenue collected by all discos in 2024 first quarter was 291.62 billion naira out of 368.65 billion naira billed to customers. This translates to a collection efficiency of 79.11%, which represents an increase of 5.32% percentage point when compared to 2023 fourth quarter, NEC stated. The report revealed that the average available generation capacity across all the 27 plants in the country during the quarter was 4,249.10 megawatts, representing a loss of 673.16 megawatts or a 13.68% decrease compared to the 4,922.26 megawatts recorded in the fourth quarter of 2023. The Central African Republic continues to implement public finance management and governance reforms, despite the particularly difficult socio-economic context and significant financing needs. In the very short term, the main challenges concern the country's fuel supply and the control of budgetary risk. The implementation of the reforms planned under the CAR program, supported by the Extended Credit Facility, remains the best path to macroeconomic stabilization in the medium term. Another major challenge concerns the control of budgetary risks, in particularly those pertaining to weaknesses in budget planning and execution. These risks have already led to significant overspending during the first half of this year. The upcoming revised budget will therefore be an opportunity to take all appropriate measures to adapt to economic situation and maintain a balanced budget. The IMF delegation met with President Touadéri, Prime Minister Molo, First Vice President of the National Assembly in Gamana, Minister of Finance and Budget Ndoba, BEAC National Director Chabwa, and other senior officials, as well as representatives of the Development Partner Committee. Still to come, sports. Please stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Thanks for staying with us. And on sport, an Olympic men's football match between Argentina and Morocco had to be restarted after almost 2 hours following VAR drama. The game had apparently ended 2-2 in Saint-Etienne. Christian Medina thought he had rescued the draw for Argentina in the 16th minute of added time. There was a pitch invasion after the goal, but after a lengthy delay, Medina's goal was ruled out by VAR for offside. The game lasted for 3 minutes after the restart before the referee blew the final whistle. Morocco won the game 2-1. Chelsea is set to sign 22-year-old goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen from Villarreal this summer transfer window. As per UK Sun, the Blues have bid £17 million for Jorgensen's signature. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca wants a player that can play out from the back in his style. Chelsea currently has two top goalkeepers, Jadej Petrovic and Robert Sanchez. Petrovic has already been transfer listed as surplus to requirement. Sanchez, meanwhile, is not thought to fill Maresca with confidence either. And that's the sport news on Africa Today. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Welcome. Now to the rest of the news. The Chief of Army Staff, Tarid Lagbaja, on Wednesday directed commanders in the northwest region of the country to promptly attend to the administrative needs of their subordinates. According to him, doing this will strengthen and boost the morale of troops in the theater of operations. Speaking at the closing of a 3-day retreat for past and present commanders of operations in Northwest in Abuja, Lagbaja, who was represented by Chief of Operations Boniface Sinjen, stated that the Northwest region is a trade hub of the country, urging commanders to step up their efforts to restore peace in the region. He said commanders in the Northwest zone must be courageous, ingenious, innovative, critical thinkers, and good communicators. Because the Northwest Zone is a major trade axis in the country, it must be secured for the benefit of the entire nation. Commanders must up their games and attend to the administrative needs of their subordinates promptly to strengthen the moral components of fighting power. And that's Africa Today, but before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that ministers say Tinubu is aware of genuine concerns and complaints expressed by Nigerians. UN report says around 733 million people globally faced hunger in 2023. Sudan paramilitary leader says he will attend ceasefire talks in Switzerland. And in sport, VAR drama versus as Argentina versus Morocco match restarts after 2 hours. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Jessica Magaji Joseph. Thanks for watching.